The color gold represents a unified idea of royalty and regal standing. A color above all others to symbolize something of utmost importance. Not a surprise then when in 1986 Nintendo chose this color to highlight a title they knew was unlike anything before it, with its outer shell matching the glowing brilliance of its contents. The Legend of Zelda was released onto the world. 3 decades later, this series still stands as the regal example of game design and pure form and function. Release after release, the series continued to grow and shine upon the gaming industry. Gaming functions blurring the line between game and art. With the release of Breath of the Wild in 2017, Nintendo once again changed the industry and flipped it on its head. Carefully observing from the sidelines of multiple other open-world offerings, Nintendo carefully selected the best of what worked and completely rethought what didn't. In this, they produced one of the finest games ever made. This all makes the inevitable sequel one of the most anticipated titles in gaming's history. Delayed multiple times, we are finally right on the edge of the release this spring around the world. With the latest information provided, it is painfully obvious there is so much we don't know about this title. Although I do have my own theories to why that is, in this episode I want to focus on a theory that's even bigger in scope for the gaming industry. A few weeks ago, before the Nintendo Direct unveiled the latest state of Tears of the Kingdom to the world, leaked images were put into the wild from what appears to be some production line somewhere. They display what we would think would be a limited series Switch OLED model for Tears of the Kingdom. If this is a real product, then you have to wonder, where was this announcement? It would have made perfect sense, and the timing couldn't have been more on point to announce it within this latest round of Nintendo Direct information. Well, as I'm sure you've already guessed, I have a theory about that. I want to welcome everyone to episode 2 of Save Points. Leaks are inevitable for an industry with so many moving pieces. Weeks ago, a leaked image appeared that indicated the production of a limited series edition Nintendo Switch OLED model for Tears of the Kingdom. Recently, with the latest official press release, we were shown for the first time the product shots for the upcoming collector's edition. Astoundingly, when we compare the small icons and symbols on the packaging for the pins, we can see this undoubtedly lines up with graphics and icons on the Joy-Con. This would be the most solid example that this limited series console is real and will be released along with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Then, I hear you ask out loud in your awesome voice, where was this one? Don't get ahead of me, dear viewer. To this, I say, it's on its way. But it won't be alone. Alright, this is my theory. The following is a theoretical discussion predicated on the working knowledge of marketing campaigns and the production pipeline. This information could turn out completely false, which in turn, please do not cancel me or unsubscribe. And remember to always continue gaming. With the release of Tears of the Kingdom, they are going to release not only that limited edition console, but the next hardware of iteration for the Switch. This will likely be fully backwards compatible with all previously released Switch software, and will focus on a hardware boost to provide higher resolution and increased frame rates. Now, I know what you're thinking, but this likely won't be the Switch's successor, the Switch 2, as it were. I'm not saying that, but I would not be surprised if it's the Pro revision we've heard about now for years. I truly believe this wasn't in this latest round of information, as the timing isn't quite right. If we follow the Switch's launch trajectory as our template, and we're gonna, we will see the announcement by the end of March for a 3-month run-up to the revision launch, day and date of May 12th, 2023. Same day as our good old Zelda. Now, when we look back, the Wii console was released with The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, and it launched to enormous success. Then, well, as we all know, they released the Wii U without a Zelda title to less success. Now, I'm not saying that every console needs a Zelda title at launch to be successful, but every console that has launched with a Zelda title has been successful. With almost 30 million sales of the original Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild for the Switch, if we follow this pattern, I believe Nintendo and its newer, younger management will follow these proven strategies for success, and they're likely to repeat that. When a Zelda game is delayed, and most of them have been, it doesn't always end up on the next console for Nintendo. However, most of the biggest ones have been. Twilight Princess, GameCube to the Wii. Breath of the Wild, Wii U to the Switch. And of course, Tears has been delayed multiple times now too. If we follow this pattern, and even taking Nintendo's strategy into account regarding remote development during the last couple of years. And don't forget to check out episode 1 of Save Points, Pausing Nintendo. This is about Nintendo's strategy during the last couple of years. Also hit that like button and subscribe, and don't forget to do Tears of the Kingdom is still following the same pattern as its predecessor, Breath of the Wild. See, that title, as we know, was moved for a universal release after multiple delays for both Wii U and Switch. Taking everything into account that has been provided by Nintendo, this is the most likely explanation. If we all agree the limited edition console does exist, then there was no better place for it than to put that in the reveal of the Nintendo Direct video, especially since pre-orders opened later that day. From a retailer perspective, for taking these orders, it would have made strategic sense to have both the collector's edition and the limited edition console lined up at the same time. I also would like to address the controversy around the price. This is the highest cost for a first-party title from Nintendo in a long while. I believe this is the new norm for first-party productions, to present the next generation of Nintendo software. And, if you think about it, what better way to ring this in than with the company's leading man, who's not a plumber. I think the price stings a little bit less if it's capable of higher performance on newly revised hardware. Although you could argue why basic Switch owners would have to pay this premium price. Let us analyze the reported download size of the final code of Tears of the Kingdom. This is 18 gigabytes in size. This is, by my recollection, the largest size of a first-party title out from Nintendo we've ever seen. You could take the idea of a larger, expansive world needs more storage. Larger Hyrule equals larger gigabytes. But that's not really how any of this works. It's likely because we have had pre-rendered videos, such as those beautiful animated story cutscenes. It's likely also included at a 4K resolution. Along with this, they likely are including 4K textures for that up-resed resolution as well. Sure, it's just a theory, but it wouldn't make more sense in terms of the larger size. I am incredibly excited for the Super Switch that I know people have been talking about for years. But this time though, the timing couldn't be better for launching what is going to amount to be the largest Nintendo title of the year, if not the largest title. With slowing sales on the same retail Switch SKU, we've seen minimal changes on for 6 years. Yeah, 6 years in March. And of course, growing competition. It's time. I'm incredibly excited to hear everyone's thoughts on this and any theories that you may have. Everything we covered here isn't proven, and although it's super fun to theorize, don't forget, this could all just be a coincidence, and production lines just might not have been ready for pre-orders yet. Although you've heard where there's smoke, there's fire. Well, in this instance, I truly believe where there are rupees, there is tingling. Thank you one and all for watching Save Points. This has been an incredible ride so far, and I'm so excited to have you all along for this journey. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button. More content is coming shortly. Be sure to follow us on all social media channels to stay up to date, and remember to always continue gaming.